Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now if you've been following our Spanish village house renovation series, you've probably already seen the dust and the chaos. But in today's video, what I thought I'd do is we go through the house, do a full house tour if you like, and discuss a little bit about the items that we chose, why we chose them, and also where we sourced them from. Okay, so I kind of figured the best place to start is obviously at the entrance hall. Now, one of the things we knew we wanted to do when we bought this property was to keep it looking Spanish. We didn't want it to lose its heritage, but at the same time, we obviously wanted to put our own individual touch on it. Okay, so one of the first purchases we made was this cabinet, and we actually sourced this locally here in the village. There's a shop which is a bit of an Aladdin's cave. It's full of all different bits, and it's one of those shops where you have to really hunt through stuff. There's items stacked on top of items, and anyway, we saw this in there and we just knew it was going to be perfect for the entrance to the hall. Another item that we sourced was this picture, but what's particularly interesting with this picture is that this is actually glass, and it's painted. The glass is painted, and as you can see, it's in a very similar, if not identical colour to the cabinet just below. So we really like this. It's got that distressed look, but like I say, the fact that it's actually glass that's been painted and the detailing on it really is lovely. So that was something that we felt also just really complemented the entrance hall. And then staying in the same area as the cabinet is this lamp. And again, we picked this up from the exactly same place that we picked up the cabinet and the picture. And I think we paid €55 for this lamp, and we had a choice of a few different lamps, but we really liked this. We just liked the detailing on it. We liked the droplets, which are glass, the shade, and just the overall style that it provided for the entrance hall. And it really gives a nice warm light. So we're really pleased with these three items, all purchased from the same place. Okay, next up, let's tell you a little bit about the entrance light. Okay, this is the lamp that we chose for the hallway, and we really liked the colour of it. It's in like a bubblegum pink almost, and we wanted something that when you come through into the hall, there's the entrance door there, and as you come in, we wanted something that just kind of visually stuck out, and we think we've chosen really well with this piece. Now, we did go to a lot of lamp shops and lighting shops, and we couldn't find anything, but this we sourced from Leroy Merlin, which is like a huge chain here in Spain. And we love it. In actual fact, we bought two of them. There's one in the second part of the entrance hall, but we think it goes well. This rug is something else that we knew we wanted. When we bought the house, we wanted to have a rug so that when you walked into the entrance, it felt warm and it felt inviting. And we spent a long time, in actual fact, we spent a whole day out looking at different rug shops, and we just couldn't find anything that was either the right size or the right colours or at the right price. And again, we found this in Leroy Merlin. I think it was around €60. And as soon as we saw it, we knew it would go perfectly with the entrance, both in sense of size and the colours that's within it. It looks very traditional and it looks very warm when you walk into the entrance hall. Now, believe it or not, this we actually ordered from Temu. It's the first time we've ever ordered from them, and the quality for the price is outstanding, but a really nice little piece. Okay, and then lastly is this mirror. Now, we actually had this mirror in our dressing room in our previous home, but we took the stand off of it because it was a freestanding mirror, and we've placed it onto the wall here and really like it again. Think it goes well with the design of it, you know, the edging and the colour, just fits in really, really well with the entrance hall, how it's styled. So we're pleased with that as well. Okay, next up is the guest room, and we knew we wanted to go royal blue in this room, and we're super pleased with how it's come out. So let's tell you what we've got in here and where we sourced it from. Okay, so the bed itself, we actually bought that online, and I can't remember where that came from, but I think it was around €800. And then we bought this headboard just to really complement the bed. The bedding all came from Next. This little B pillar actually come from Morrison's, the supermarket. We really like that. And then these two white pillars that you can see sticking out there, they were ridiculously expensive in my mind. I think they was like over 100 euros, 120 euros each, but apparently they're really good, so we've been told by guests. The two bedside cabinets that you can see either side, we already had those. They just come from our previous home. The lamp here was something that my parents didn't want, so we took that off of them. With it being silver, it really goes well with the studs around the bed. And then we've got these pictures that we actually sourced second hand. We got 3 of these and they were ridiculously cheap. I think for all 3 we paid about 30 euros, something like that, but really like these. We love the colouring of the frames, the design, just everything about them. They go so well with the room, so we were super pleased with those. And then lastly, the light fitting. Now the light fitting, was actually like a chandelier in here, which was ridiculous. Like, this is such a low ceiling that your head would hit it. So we opted for these spotlights, which you can twist and turn, you can position wherever you want, and we think that the gold bits on them really sort of highlight the frames as well on the pictures in here. So yeah, we're really pleased with how this room came out. Now, all the doors in the house we had custom made. There's not one single door throughout the whole property which is the same size. So every single one had to be measured and custom made, but we're so pleased with the doors. We was umming and ahhing about the colours and what to choose. We wanted doors that obviously still felt rustic, but we wanted something very high quality, and we actually got these made with the frames by a local carpenter, and he's just done an absolutely phenomenal job. Now, these weren't cheap. These were expensive to install these doors and to have them made, but we really think that it completely transforms the house, because the doors that we had before, pretty much, I think, certainly downstairs in the property, were all aluminium, like metal, and they were just really ugly. So these have completely transformed the house, and probably one of the best investments we made in the property. Okay, and this area is the second part of the entrance hall, if you like. So just there through that archway is the main entrance in, through the front door, and then you pass through there into here. And we was umming and ahhing what to do here. At one point we was going to have all shelving put in here, like, you know, a purpose-built bookcase, and have somewhere you could sit and read. And for now, what we've decided to do is we've just put in basically this chaise lounge. We think it goes pretty well. It fills the area nice, and the rug underneath it was actually purchased for the lounge, but my wife didn't like it at all. She was going to throw it out, and I said, well, let's try it down here, and we actually think it goes okay. And it's a combination of 2 different colours, because here we've got like a royal blue, and then underneath we've got this emerald colour with a gold piping around the rug, but it actually goes really well. And then we've just decorated the wall with a family collage. We've still got a few more photos to go in now. And then over in this corner we've got just a vase with some flowers in. Now, the light fitting here is exactly the same. Let me turn it off for a second so you can see. It's exactly the same as the one in the main entrance, just there. Apart from this is a smaller version of it. We didn't want 2 identical sizes. We wanted something that visually looked a little bit different. So we bought that there. And again, we think it really it looks lovely from the kitchen, and the colours just make the room pop. And then on the wall behind us here, we've got this mirror, which again was something that we was going to throw out, and then my wife said, well, just try it, let's see what it looks like. And we put it up and it looks really good, so we've decided that's going to stay. Okay, next up is the kitchen. Now, if you watched the renovation series, you would know that we had so many ideas for this kitchen. We was going to have a white farmhouse kitchen. We was going to have all of this side of the kitchen also fitted with units. We was going to have Moroccan style splashbacks. We had all these ideas, and we actually ended up implementing none of them. We completely changed what we ended up doing. So let me show you what we chose. So yeah, in the end we went for this Tiffany blue, and we're so pleased we did, because all the comments we've had from people that have visited the house have all fallen in love with the colour of this kitchen. For the worktops, we went for a wood that we felt would go with the terracotta flooring. So we opted for that colour there. And then one of the other things we've done is we fitted a breakfast bar just here as well, because for me, I spend so much time in the kitchen. I work from here, I have my breakfast here, and I spend hours each day. So we put that breakfast bar in when the kitchen was installed. We got them to fit that as well. And then we bought these two lovely breakfast bar stools, which are super comfy in this beautiful fabric that go really well with the colour of the units, as you can see. And I think these actually were sourced from Amazon, if I remember correctly, but we really, really like them. And again, they've got the studs over them, and then they've got like this big, I don't know what that is on the back, but we like it. They're really nice. For the oven and the microwave, obviously we opted for the integrated. That just gave us more cupboard space by having the oven integrated. So we've got these two great big drawers there with plenty of room for pots and pans and chopping boards and etc. And then the top cupboard has got the integrated cutlery drawer in it as well, which kind of slides out, which is fantastic. But we've got so much cupboard space in this kitchen, and considering this kitchen is only around, I think, 12 to 14 square metres, it's really incredible the amount of storage space we've got in here. And then down this end as well, we've got more storage all up here as well. And then a great purchase was this Smeg kettle. It's the first time we've ever had one, and they're not cheap. I think this kettle was around £180, €200, something around there. But my God, what a fantastic kettle. So if you've never bought a Smeg kettle, this isn't sponsored by them, but I can highly recommend them. They're incredible. And then as for the splashbacks, as I mentioned, we was considering maybe some sort of Moroccan style tiles, but in the end we just went with a plain white with a bezeled edging. We think it looks clean, it looks nice and tidy, and if anybody does purchase the house after us, there's nothing you can not like. They're super clean, and we're really pleased with those. And they came from Obromart, which is a big builder's merchant, if you want, in Spain. They've got lots of different designs, but these we just felt in the end were the cleanest and probably the safest option. And then for the sink, we just went for black because the handles that we chose for the kitchen units are black. It was the safest option. And then we went for, I think you say Rosal is the brand of this tap, with just this extendable bit so you can clean your plates and around the sink better. But again, sink nice and tidy, and it fits in well with the handles and the hob and the kettle, etc. And then for the windowsill, we went with these tiles, these stones. We was umming and ahhing whether to put maybe black stone tiles there. But in the end, we just went, like I say, with these simple ones, and we really like them. They really set off the windowsill nice, and they blend in well with the white tiles, splashback tiles. So that was the choice we went for the windowsill. Okay, then next up is the dining room. Now this room was originally the lounge, or at least the lounge that the previous owner was using, but we decided to make this room our dining room. And the reason we've done that is because this floor is kind of an entertaining floor, if you like. Here we've got the dining room, behind it we've got the lounge, and then directly behind the camera is the entrance out onto the roof terrace. So we kind of felt that making this a dining room was probably the best option. So what have we done in here? Well, let me show you. Okay, the dining table was actually sourced from Amazon, and I believe that was around €250. And then the chairs were just under €500. And again, these chairs came from a seller on Amazon, and we're so pleased with those. The rug underneath is from Maison du Monde. That wasn't a cheap rug, but it really complements the whole sort of dining area, so we're super pleased with that. Above we've got this fan, and again, that came from Leroy Merlin. Now, I think the original price of that was around €200, but they actually have a reconditioned section in Leroy Merlin, and we managed to pick that up for less than €60, and we're really pleased with it because it's solid wood as well, so that was an absolute steal. And the thing that's great with this is as well, it's actually a cooling fan as well as a heating, so you can reverse the direction, so it can either put heat down or it can blow cool air down. The mirror here was again something that came from our previous home. I didn't want it in here. I wanted something completely different. My wife said, let's just give it a go, and we felt it really worked well. It's, you know, it's kind of modern, I suppose, in design, but it does suit the rest of the room. The lamp over the back corner, again, we sourced that. That was actually a used piece, but we really liked that. And it wasn't expensive. Again, it was less than €60, and we really, really liked that. Again, the door in here has been changed, as we mentioned before. And then we've got some matching curtains that go well with the green chairs there. So all in all, we're super pleased with how the dining room's come out. Okay then, for the bathroom, this room I think just came together so well, and the camera doesn't really do it justice because it is a small space. I think this room's probably, I don't know, maybe 8 square metres, something along those lines, so the camera's not going to pick it up. But as I mentioned earlier, all the doors in the house were changed, so we've got exactly the same door style, exactly the same wood here in the bathroom, and I think it really complements the floor that we decided to go with. Like the colours of the brown in the door go so well with the brown in the floor tiles. Then we went for a brick style tile here, as you can see. We wanted something that was neutral, something that gave the space a bigger feeling, and white obviously does that, but we're super pleased with how those came out and looked. And then over this side, this we actually bought again from Leroy Merlin, and I think this was around €400, including the sink, and then obviously we put on the fixtures such as the tap, the plug, and the handles and stuff like that. So I think the total cost of everything there was probably around €500, but it's a real sort of farmhouse looking sink, I suppose, and again, with it being white, nobody can dislike it. And then we just went for a round mirror with an LED backlight on the back, which just lights up that wall nice behind it. Again, this camera isn't really doing this bathroom justice at all. And then for the shower, we went for a stone floor shower. We wanted a walk-in shower and we wanted a stone floor. And we went for these flat pebbles, and they really go so well. And then the actual shower screen itself, that was quite difficult to get because we knew we wanted gold, and trying to find one with a gold strip here to complement the gold tap, the gold shower and all the gold finishings that we've got here in the bathroom wasn't easy. But we bought this, and there were lots of different options, really sort of ranging from £170 right the way up to sort of £900 or euros, sorry, for the shower screen. This one I think came out at around €390, but the quality of it is outstanding, to the point where you can shower and you really don't even really need to wipe the shower screen down after. It doesn't stain, it just comes, after it's dried, it comes back looking like it hasn't been touched. So really good shower screen, and super pleased with that as well. And then the actual shower itself, we went with an oversized rain head. Again, probably doesn't look as big here as it actually is, and that was actually super cheap. I can't remember exactly where we sourced that, but we got that somewhere online, and that was around €250. Okay, next up is the lounge. Now, when we bought this house, this was originally a bedroom. So we was considering, should we keep it as a bedroom? Should we turn it into a dressing room? And in the end, we actually decided to, as you can see, make it into a lounge. So let me show you exactly what we've bought and what we've done in here. Now, one of the things that I did do is I painted one of these beams in like an antique brown. And I thought it'd really suit the room, but we was actually surprised. It didn't go as well as what I was hoping, so I stripped it back and turned that back white. But in here, we've completely retiled the floor. Before we had like a black and brown mottled tile, and it really made the room feel dark. So we completely retiled the whole floor, and really happy with those. This was probably the bargain of the century, this rug. We actually bought this from a Moroccan seller in one of the ports down on the coast. I think we paid €50 for it. He started about 180 and I got him down to €50 and love it. Again, it gives a real pop of colour and a nice warmth. Then we've got this furniture that we bought. So a matching coffee table, TV unit and this cabinet here. And again, that wasn't overly expensive. I think the whole lot was less than €400. The sofa, instead of going for something grey or green, we just went for a mustard colour. We wanted something that really was bright and popped, and we really liked that. My wife had this idea of emerald green with mustard, and it goes really well. And even though maybe on camera it doesn't show it, it doesn't complement each other, this rug with that sofa really goes well. Over here we've got this old trunk. Again, this was sourced second hand. Can't tell you too much about it from its age perspective, but it's a really nice piece. That wasn't dear. Again, that was around €60. The lamp was sourced second hand as well. I think that was €50. But these two pieces are really nice items in this kind of style house. The aircon unit, I think, was the actual first thing we had done ever in this house, and that was around €800 for the fitting of that. And that one unit heats up the whole way upstairs. So it heats the master bedroom, it heats this room, the lounge, and it also heats the dining room. So that was a really good investment. And then again, as you can see, another custom door, and this door is ridiculously low. Just to show you, I'll turn the camera around. Can you see that? How low the door is compared to me, but it's really cute and it's definitely a feature in this room. Okay, and then for the stairs up to the first landing. Now, as you can see, we've got these tiles that go all the way up the stairs, and we was considering changing those, but they're the original tiles from the house when we bought it, and we know that they're decades and decades old, so we thought let's keep them because they're original feature. The only other thing really that we've changed in here is we've just rejuvenated the handrail and the balustrade in here that you can see, so that was all looking quite tired, so I stripped that back and repainted that, and that's come up really nice. Then actually on the walls we've just put a couple of prints. So we've got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro from The Godfather and from the movie Casino. And I managed to get these in the UK. I bought these in London years ago, and these are actually signed pieces. I didn't think they'd go there. I wanted something completely different, but my wife wanted them there. And I think she's actually made a good choice. And then as you can see again, we've changed the door that goes through into this room. Again, exactly the same material, same colour as the rest of the doors in the house. Another thing that we did was we put these spots here in the hallway. Again, you can twist and swivel them and put them whatever way you want. And then we've got this really high wall just here, super high, as you can see. So we're still kind of figuring out what to put there, but we've seen a few things, but we're not sure. So if you've got any ideas what we could put there, that would be fantastic because we're a little bit undecided. Okay, and then lastly is the master bedroom. So all the bedding in here, again, is from Next. Really good quality. If you haven't tried Next bedding, try it because it's absolutely incredible. We've got some lamb's wool rugs here on the floor. Now they should have been ultra expensive, and again we managed to source them from somebody locally in the village, and we got a really good deal on them. And then we've just put in some new furniture such as these chest of drawers, and things like the wardrobes over here. So yeah, that's basically the master bedroom. So that's it, guys. That's the house tour complete, and we've still got a little bit of work to do. We've still got a little bit more decoration to choose, and the big project still to do is the roof terrace. So stay tuned to the channel so you can see how that comes out. Also, once the whole house is done, I'll then be doing, if you like, a transparency video. So I'll give the full cost of the house when we bought it, including the getting in costs, and then I'll break down the full renovation. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's video, please remember to give it a like. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do. It won't cost you a penny, but it helps the channel to continue to grow. Anyway, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and I'll catch you in the next one.